What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach, and we're back again. Merch, aka Ben, is joining us for some more cricket reactions. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? I'm always happy to be here, so thanks for having me on again.
Of course, brother. Well, look, we got a Jomboy reaction. We haven't done Jomboy in a while. Shout out Jomboy, man. He's one of the best to do any type of cricket reaction type things, as well as even becoming pretty good at breaking down certain situations now as well, which is really cool. But his link will be down below. But we're gonna check out this controversial situation that happened where it's called Australia's controversial stumping of Jonny Bairstow. Did I say that right? Bairstow?
Bairstow, yep.
There we go. And this will be a breakdown of it. And you said you have something to add before we get started. So what about this moment makes it controversial? Like give me a little basic rundown before we get into it.
Okay, so Bairstow has had previous run-ins with Australian players off the field. So there's been instances where he's been in fights with David Warner, who was playing in this game. So there's been altercations with players from Australia off the field in the past, and there's a bit of tension there. Like, Australia and England competitively really don't get along, especially in cricket. So it's always going to be a massive talking point between the two nations. And so any little controversial thing that happens is going to be massively blown out of proportion, like this was.
Okay, fair enough, man. Well, look, that's why I'm excited for the Ashes this year. I know a lot of people got mad at me at the video I did recently of saying is the India versus Australia more iconic than the Ashes. Y'all got clickbaited a little bit on that one. I'm so excited for the Ashes this year, and this is in preparation for it. Let's do it. Go on, Jomboy.
Is bowling to Jonny Bairstow, and the ball's bouncer right over him. Bouncers all day. He marks his ground. He leaves. He wanders off. Doesn't watch anything. Fixes the dirt, the little divot, smooths it out. No, nothing's going to go awry. Another one over his head, doesn't even look at anyone, marks his ground. That's important. Walks, fixes the divots, comes back. The Ashes.
I think it's also, sorry.
Yeah, no,
I think it's also important to mention. So right now, they're basically just trying to almost scuff the ball up to get reverse swing. So they're bowling it intentionally into the wicket, trying to get the ball to be scuffed. They're also trying to save Cummins and Stark. I'm not sure who the other bowler was in this game. It might have been Boland. I can't remember. Might have been Hazelwood. But they're trying to save those guys for a little bit later on. They're between the spells. And so they've got someone like Greenan who can just bounce the ball into the dirt, try and get that ball a bit more scuffed so that they can move the ball better. And that's really the entire intention on this. And Bairstow does like to hook the ball as well, so they may be thinking he might try and play a hook shot. They've got a man probably out somewhere that you can't see, ready for a catch. It's literally like a middle reliever. They're just trying to get through to the closer.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So, basically he's just priming the ball, scuffing it up a little bit, setting up for your bigger, your more profound bowlers to come in. They can get the movement on the ball. And then, I didn't even think about that, especially since Bairstow likes to play the little hook shot. They're setting it up to possibly even get a sneaky one before the big guys could finally come in. So this strategy is normal. Like, there's nothing controversial about bouncing these deliberate bowlers time and time again against Bairstow. This is all just a normal day. So far, at least.
It happens to a lot more. It happens to a lot more people than not just Bairstow, especially during this time, like the 40 to 60, 70 overs. They'll do this a lot, especially if they're known to hook the ball. It's very common.
Okay. This gave us great drama on this ball, the third one, because on this one, something different happens. He goes to fix and talk, and he's like, wait, what? What? Even the umpire's like, what? They're celebrating. He's just standing in the middle of them celebrating like, what?
Okay, so I was going to ask that just before we started talking. So when he marks his spot, is that basically saying like, it's basically just saying like, hey, like, I'm still here. I'm just going to do this. And like, is that like a legitimate thing? Like they can mark their spot and then move off the line? Like what's that all about?
So cricket, as you'll hear further explained in this, there is like the sort of unwritten rules and like spirit of the game type thing, and
Okay.
one of it is like the whole. It is basically grass at the end of the day. That's what a pitch is.
Right.
And so there's going to be imperfections, and the batter wants to fix those imperfections and make it as easy for them to bat as possible.
Right.
And so all he's trying to do in the previous two balls was fix where those divots were being made so that it wasn't being erratic or any worse for the future balls.
Okay. Got it.
But in this case,
uh-huh.
So you notice at the bottom how it was the end of the over.
Yes. Yeah, I do see that now. Yes.
So all he's trying to do by doing that sort of foot marking motion is sort of signal to the umpire, I have no intention of moving anywhere. I'm happy where I am, and I'm going to just talk to my partner.
Okay.
That's really all he was trying to do here.
Right. Because it's not like when they get out and stuff, they have to signal that the out happened or appeal for it. Is that what it's called? And so when he's doing that, if they were to like throw it at the stumps while he's stepping off, the umpire's like, well, you're appealing, but it's not out because he ruled it that he's not moving. Is it that kind of thing? Or is it just a respect for the game? Like you said, it's just an unwritten rule that you're just not supposed to hit the stumps whenever they do that. Does that make sense?
Legally speaking,
okay.
So legally speaking, the ball needs to be declared dead by the umpires. And it will be further explained in the video, but yeah, essentially the whole controversial thing is Bairstow thought the ball was declared dead. It wasn't, so that's why he was out.
Okay.
What are you guys going on about? Huh?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
he looks so confused.
Huh? Well, I look like a giant
BAL.
fool. His teammates are like, oh boy, Johnny looks like a giant fool. He's like, what happened
Just
here?
played,
well, the ball went
BAL.
over. Keeper, Carey just takes it, tosses it at the stumps, celebrates early because he's got his man, because he knew he was just walking around without paying attention to anything. Now, this caused a ton of controversy, of controversy. And as someone that's kind of new to cricket, I was really excited to get into the weeds on this, on the history. And look at them. They're not upset. They're high-fiving.
Of course not.
Everyone's high-fiving. Same as baseball. The bowlers, the pitchers are tall, and they're kind of shorter. Now, Head's going to go up to Stokes, and be like, hey, let me tell you, no, actually, he tried to do that to me last match, and I had to jump back. And then I asked him, I said, would you really take my stumps? And he said, on oath, I would. And you could hear Cummins, the captain, say,
umpire's review for...
He threw it straight away, mate. And then Khawaja says, you did the exact same thing on day one, the Warner. So they're trying to say, hey, you did this to us. We're doing it to you. They go to review it, out. And we're going to get into all the controversy and everything England is saying about why this sucks and isn't good. But first, we got to move on to what happens next, because bowler for England, Stuart Broad, comes in. He knows he's on the mic, and he's giving everyone a little entertainment.
That's all you're ever going to be remembered for, that. That's all you'll ever be remembered for.
I do have something to say about Stuart Broad here.
Yeah, go for it.
So 10 years ago, at the point of this game, he himself was involved in a rather controversial moment. So he was batting, and the Australian spinner came in. It wasn't Nathan Lyon, which was the funny thing, but he came in and bowled, and the ball actually hit, Stuart Broad hits the ball to first slip.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
Australia captures it and celebrate thinking he's out. Stuart Broad doesn't move. He stands there. And Australia, you know how there's the review system.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have one left. So they had to just go with the umpire's decision.
Got it.
So, yeah, he was essentially involved in a controversial thing himself. So he's also playing into that here by saying, that's all you'll be remembered for and all of that, because he himself is remembered for something controversial.
For that
So
moment.
he knows.
See,
Yeah.
so it's a snarky kind of comment thing, but it's also kind of like, oh yeah, I know. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's all you remember for. I was too. And you just have to live with it. I mean, this is like, I guess, kind of like my thing, outside perspective. And, you know, I'm glad I have you here to clarify some of these like unwritten rules and different things like that. But, you know, I just know when I think of sports, I think of rivalries and stuff, man, when it involves big rivalries, you know, some of that, like, just like secret rules and things like that just go out the window, because it's all about getting the best out of the team that you're playing. You know, and if you're going to give them advantages because you're, you know, lazily making these different movements and just kind of going through the motions, you're going to get got. And I don't feel like you deserve to be mad at it or have the right to be mad at it. You might be mad at yourself because you made a mistake, but to be mad at them for being opportunistic in a rivalry game, I mean, like, you know, come on. It's kind of like, you know, different, but similar. Like we were up a couple years ago. The Saints were up against the Falcons. It was the end of the game. There was nothing that the Falcons could do to win. We could have just kneeled the ball and game would have been over. But it's a rivalry. F those secret rules of just kneeling it and getting out. No, we went and scored another touchdown. You know what I mean? It was a little worse than that, but I won't go into the details. It was pretty effed up, but I loved it. And like I even said when it happened, if it would have been the opposite way around, whereas the Falcons position, I'd have been pissed off at him. But I mean, it is what it is. Like I can't be mad. Stop it. But
Terry's like, yeah, I know. Did you see all the high fives I just got from my teammates? It was like really smart, brilliant move by me. Of course, that's all I'm going to be remembered for. It's awesome.
Literally the worst thing I've ever seen in cricket. That.
Worst thing he's ever seen in cricket, that, and then he went on to kind of troll them, but he's more trolling himself, I think, by just never leaving his crease without making sure the ball isn't dead, which I think is what he's doing here. Is he's acting out what he wishes his teammate would have done. Am I good? Is it dead? No?
Sarcastic ass.
And then he thinks he's talking shit here, but Warner hears what he says and just kind of doubles over in laughter. Like, what, mate? What? All right. Oh, that was good.
I love how Jomboy's even, what, mate?
So, yeah.
Come on, man.
Then the players are walking through the long room. This is a tradition. You got to walk through all the members and the club members. And that guy went for a high five on Steve Smith. Did you see that? In the hat, he goes, hey, high five, mate. And then Steve Smith's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll give you a high five. He's like, nah, no way, dude. No way. And then they start talking, I guess, real shit. And
this is the best thing about Jomboy, by the way. Like, if y'all aren't subscribed, I don't know why y'all aren't to Jomboy. Even like his Instagram and everything, it's just these like little comical thing. He picks up on these like the smallest details that are just like, how'd you even see that? Why were you paying attention to
some
it?
stuff out of line. And this is like the nicest guy in cricket. And he stops and he says, what'd you call me? I wouldn't say that. And 3 members got suspended. They're not around anymore. The president of the club, he's embarrassed. These 3 old guys, they're embarrassed. What's going on?
Letter of the law, spirit of the game. Sometimes 2 different things.
This is the whole debate. They got the letter of the law and the spirit of the game. So for baseball fans, you have the rules and the unwritten rules. We have the same thing. They take it a little farther than we do, but spirit of the game, letter of the law.
And I'll tell you what, like, and that may be true too, that maybe I'll take it a little bit further, but I know some baseball fans that are like ridiculous about those unwritten rules. Like to where like you'll have coaches and stuff like that clear the benches after or clear the dugout because an unwritten rule is broken on certain situations. Like they get all their panties up in a wad off of something that is just supposed to not be, you know, but hey, play the game.
Do you want to know the objectively funny thing about this whole situation is?
Yeah, go for it.
So you know when the players walked off to go to the lunch, the long room or whatever, they immediately went to lunch. And if you don't know, they sit together. Like both teams are in the same room having lunch at the same time.
Okay.
And since the Australians try not to say anything, and the English trying not to say anything, and then Jonny Bairstow walks in. I think Mitch Marsh and Marnus Labuschagne have commented on this because they were both there. Mitch Marsh is eating, and he goes to sit down, and he sees, I think it's David Warner in the corner laughing, and he goes, "Oh, do you think that was funny? What happened? Like, do you think that was funny?" David Warner just pipes up, "Yeah, very. And then everyone just erupts into laughter. Like Mitch Marsh was saying, he was eating soup at the time, and there was soup just like dribbling down the front of himself, like all onto his uniform.
First off, that is a dangerous game, man. You know what? That a good thing they call it the gentleman's game, cricket, because having the oppositions eat lunch together after something. Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah, right. Oh my God. I'm just sitting here thinking about me as like a teenager playing competitive soccer, and we shared a hotel room with the team that we were playing against the next day. The cops had to get called. Like we had a full-blown brawl outside. It was like oh yeah, okay.
What way did you
Crazy.
see that Bairstow dismissal yesterday?
Well, I think it was a real opportunity for Pat Cummins to, perhaps reverse his decision. I think he missed an opportunity there in many ways.
So if you're like, what do you mean reverse his decision? This doesn't happen in baseball. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't even know if it's allowed in cricket. If the umpire calls him out, you can be like, nah, I don't think we earned that. That's not right. Like, he's not out. He's out. He's not out, ump. We got it. We're good. Thank you, but we're good. One example of this happening actually involves now coach of England, Baz, who throws the ball there at the wickets and gets the runner. The runner got hit in the head with the ball and then kind of just like walked away to gather himself, and the over was over. And boom. That didn't feel good. And then, how's that feel? You're out. I'm the coach of England, and I just did that to you. But the umpires ruled it out, but his captain was like, nah, man, that's not cool. I don't like that. Umpires, you're doing your job. We applaud you for getting right, but you're out. So this guy is saying that
Nah, man, that's interesting. I mean, I guess that, could make sense in a certain way with, with things like that. I've never heard of that being a thing in any sport to where, be like, never mind. We won't take that touchdown. We won't take that out rope, Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, we would. You're just playing the Falcons. Like, yeah, we're definitely holding one of the offensive line. Now we'll just take
I guess the only other thing I would think of is like with soccer, with like a drop ball situation after a player gets injured, they'll give it to the team that, had possession beforehand because they were hurt or whatever. And that's kind of like a spirit of the game thing. Yeah, I don't know. Because, I mean, even in football, you'll have guys get knocked unconscious and then drop the ball and fumble it. And they're not like, oh, well, he didn't mean to fumble it. He got knocked out. Well, it's too bad.
Australia should have done that. Now, staying on the current coach, because he's actually got two more examples of doing this, the very thing that he's upset that Australia did. This is the most famous one. Dude hits for a big milestone. His partner touches the crease safely, turns around to celebrate with him. Oh, nope, you're out. Don't do that. You can even see the umpire motioning. Watch this. So he touches the crease, then he goes to celebrate with his teammates. Watch the umpire like, dude, get over. Ah, damn, I just got to call the rule. You're out.
That's tough.
And he does, the manager of England did say he has gone on to regret this. And that's why he's trying to say that Australia will regret this as they get older as well, because it's
oh, come on. Don't give me that hindsight 2020 BS, man. You might regret it now, but at the end of the day, you were a competitor. You did what you had to do to win. If it's dirty, it's dirty, but that's what happens in sports, man.
Not in the spirit of the game. Yeah. He also has another one where it's the same situation. The guy touches his crease and then he turns around to run and celebrate with his teammate thinking the play has ended, and Baz is like, nah, play's not over. You're out. And that's his teammates reacting to him getting out. Oh, they're not all up in arms and upset. They're
laughing at him. Yeah.
Silliness of getting run out in that way and the lack of attention. But yeah, he took his stumps and he was just going to celebrate. So a little bit of history there. All right, let's go to another reason why England thinks this was not cool.
But I just think looking at this dismissal, Jonny's not really gaining an added advantage. There was an allusion to Jonny doing it, in the innings previous to Warner and to Marnus Labuschagne, but those two batsmen were standing out of their crease, and there's a difference. I think people need to understand that. They're gaining an added advantage.
Oh, so you got to be gaining an advantage to be getting out, which is foreign to us baseball fans because the hidden ball trick is awesome. And a guy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. You know about the hidden ball trick? I'm so glad Jomboy mentioned that. Okay, yeah.
I have seen it. Don't worry. Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen it. Don't worry.
I couldn't imagine what like your classical cricket fans that believe in this type of thing have to say about the hidden ball trick. Because even me sometimes I'm like, that's dirty. I'm like, that's dirty. That's great, man. Yeah, it is funny how depending on what side of it you're on, like it's like, oh well, when we did it, there was a reason why we tried to do it. When y'all did it, there really wasn't a good enough reason. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's okay. I'll steal, but when you steal, I'm gonna tell you that it's wrong. Okay.
Yeah. And I think it also plays into again, it's the rivalry. It's Australia or England, of course. This is what I'm talking about. You're going to naturally side with what you think is correct, and in this instance, you think that the dismissal's not correct. You're going to side with it, even if in the past you haven't sided with that particular belief.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just lifting his
Fair enough.
foot slightly off the base, not gaining an advantage at all. And this is what they're referencing, that Bairstow did try to do it to Marnus, and right there, but I don't know what this guy's talking about, because Marnus wasn't out of his crease. He was on his front foot, but he wasn't really stepped forward. He doesn't have to run back or scamper back. The other thing, big difference is he follows the ball, watch his head, turn, follow the ball, not out. So yeah, Bairstow did try to do it to Marnus there, but that guy's wrong about being out of the crease thing. We do have a good example of a wicket that was taken off of a batsman who was not trying to gain an advantage at all.
This is good.
And it's pretty interesting to listen to the English commentators talk about this one.
Oh, hello. Well, his foot's in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's gone. It's incredibly slack. It really is. It's very, very smart
Guess who this
from Jonny
is?
Bairstow. You can see Jonny Bairstow's keeping in.
Who is it?
It's Jonny Bairstow. He's the keeper.
Oh, it's Jonny Bairstow.
Well, there he goes. Brilliant work by Jonny Bairstow. A wicket out of absolutely nothing there. And Samit Patel will trudge off with the weight of the world upon his shoulders, as though it's all a terrible conspiracy. But in fact, it's an absolutely lousy bit of cricket by him. Just lifting his foot, and Bairstow does the rest.
Yeah, very, very slack on the part of Samit Patel.
My goodness.
It'll take him a while to get off the ground, but he has no one else to blame but himself. A lot of credit to Jonny Bairstow for realising the moment.
And now it's credit to him too. Oh, look how the
A lot of credit to Jonny Bairstow for realizing the
turns
moment.
have tabled.
Even though the runner wasn't trying to take an advantage, he was just simply shifting his weight. Great job by Jonny. Now, if that does
shifts
nothing
his weight,
for you,
adjust
and you're
his
saying
cup.
they're
Imagine getting out trying to adjust your cup. That's crazy, man.
way different
Or your box. I'm sorry if you're call it a box.
circumstances, like Piers Morgan said to me on Twitter and told me I'm not allowed to talk about this at all because I'm American, which I'm sorry I'm talking about it. This is the final reason why the English are saying it's unfair.
It's the end of the over. He's walking down the wicket.
It's the end of the over. That didn't matter when it was Colin Wood and it was the end of the over here and Baz did it. But, so it's been done. The coach of England has done it. Now they did take that one back, like I said.
He's in his crease. He makes he marks his guard, and it's almost like an acceptance that perhaps the over's done.
So because of that foot move, that's him saying, I'm not trying to go anywhere. I'm marking my crease. The over's over. The only real weird part is he doesn't get to decide if the over's over. The umpires do. And then the other thing is, this would be a great...
Why is Jomboy taking this so personally, Ben? Like he's like he feels like he has like money on the line with this kind of situation. Like he's so snarky and sarcastic with his responses.
Hey, he knows that you're always sponsored by DraftKings. Maybe he did some stuff and had Australia on the line here or something.
Maybe, because my boy's like, he's like, oh yeah, well, funny thing is, you don't determine when the over's over, the umpire does. Like, okay, you didn't have to say it like that, Jomboy.
If Carey, the keeper, saw him do this and then still threw it at the stumps, saw him do this, declare I'm not going anywhere, and then threw it at the stumps. But that's not what happened. Here's all 5 angles synced up, which is pretty confusing and fun to watch. But Carey grabs the ball and then quickly turns and throws it all in one motion. And he is scratching his crease. Right. Let's see. It's all the same. So the ball is out.
Yeah.
And he is just starting his little scratch. So Carey threw it before then. So even if the umpires were paying attention, they wouldn't have called over because the ball had never stopped its motion. Carey didn't do the normal rhythm of throwing it to slip and then they throw it around. He went straight at the stumps. The umpires would have said, nah. All Bairstow had to do was not be a big dummy. I don't know. Yeah. And I think some Australian fans are saying like, yeah, it's not great. Like it's not competitive, but fuck off. Pay attention. This video was brought to you by the...
Yeah, that's exact. So I remember when this happened. Yeah, I felt the exact same way.
I feel like me and Jomboy have the same perspective in some of the things that I've like reacted to in the past, because I've said the exact same thing in different other moments of things that we watch where I'm just like, yeah, F it, deal with it. That's the rules. Like, and maybe that's just like the U.S. mentality. Like, whenever certain things like this happen, I guess I have no idea. But he's spot on for me. It's just like, yeah, well, fuck it. Don't be, do what you're supposed to do. Like, it is what it is. That's crazy, man. The one thing, as we're in preparation for this year's Ashes, I hope there's some controversy again. I mean, controversy to me makes sports great. We got that with Australia versus India last December, whatever month it was. Hopefully we'll get that with the Ashes this year. Have something fun, something to get the eyebrows raised and get the comments going and battle it out. But this has been another awesome reaction. Again, Ben, I appreciate you for being here. Do you have anything else to add? I didn't even ask.
Yeah, the Ashes always throws up something special. Every single time these two countries play each other. I might be biased here, being Australian and all, but there's always something. Yeah, there's always something special that happens between these two countries. A lot of controversies, a lot between both countries. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's just England. It's both countries. Yeah, it's the nature with rivalries. Both countries do some messed up stuff. But it's cricket. It's what makes it really interesting and really enjoyable. And I'm pumped for this Ashes series. I hope it's as good as what that last one was, because it was constant talking points. Every single day there was something new to talk about. And I really hope that's the case with this one, because it makes cricket more enjoyable when there is always storylines, stuff you can take out, all this interesting stuff. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, look, guys, in the comments, if y'all are still here, thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. But let's do one more thing for me. Go ahead and comment your prediction for the Ashes this year. Give me a score line. But anyway, guys, catch y'all on the next one. Cheers.
Take care.